Kia ora koutou katoa. Hello, this is Lesley Ormsby, psychic medium, healer, teacher of mystical and spiritual things and so much more. So welcome to my YouTube channel. This is for the sign of Taurus that I'm doing now. This is the weekly one, and this is for the week of the 15th of June 2020. Now, I was just about to say 2015, and I have no idea why I said that, but I will just go back into that. So some of you may be so it may be something that is pertinent to some of you. You may understand that. So anyway, I'm just going to go back to my introduction. So so welcome to my YouTube channel, Taurus. So I want to say thank you first of all to those of you who have subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. It just helps me to grow my channel and expand the reach that I'm able to get the messages out there to, those of others are there that may want to hear it. So with the more subscriptions I get and feedback I get, like through the likes or the thumbs up and the comments, it's like YouTube expand you, and therefore you're able to reach more people, and then in doing so, then I'm able to create more free content for everybody. So anyway, I've been so the other thing is these reads are suitable for whether you're watching this is in your sun, moon, rising or Venus sign. So check out your other signs if this doesn't quite fit for you. For instance, I follow my sun sign. I'm a Gemini, but I follow my sun sign predominantly, and I may check out what my other signs have for me, just to give me a more comprehensive overview of what could be happening, what could be coming up, or just like something maybe give me a little bit inkling. I may already have like an inkling about what could be coming up, but it could be a little bit in the sense it could be more clarification that the messages that come through are about for me and or for you. Okay, so the other thing is, if you would like to book a reading with me and to get a bit more in-depth information about what could be going on for you and that sort of thing, just give me or if you want to get in contact with someone on the other side, just my details are in the description box below, and you can give me give me a buzz on one of those contacts. Okay. The other thing is, if you don't know what your other signs are, there is a link in the description box below too that will take you to a website that has a calculator that will work that out for you. Okay. So anyway, the first card out is the Healer of Ages, and it's the Christ energy. So which is interesting because I was just going to talk about, I have a lot of energies that I work with, and they work with me. We work along each side each other and for different at different times, for different clients, for different things that I do. And you may be in, like, the Christ energy has come in now. So there's been a lot of light energy beings that are around me, and they're bringing in a lot of healing. So at the moment, the light being energy, is not like the other ones that come through for, say, like the other two energies, but the Christ energy has come in for you guys today. Okay, so you may have been praying to Jesus about helping you, give you some idea about where you're going in your life at the moment. So number one, he's number 51 in the deck. So number 5 is about energy. So energy, seeing everything as energy, as everything, or seeing everything actually, is energy and vibration. So it's being mindful about what they're talking about here, is being mindful about what you're thinking, what you're doing, your actions, and the energy behind the action, like as in what the thoughts behind that, because it's like because it drew me to, like, when you put something, it's not just about the manifesting of what you put out you will receive. It's not like in that sort of karmic way. It's not just about that, and you could put out something that's being mindful, because sometimes when we say something or do something, and it's like we hurt ourselves. So some people may look, oh well, you manifested that, but then yes, but in a sense, but it's like because what they're talking about, it's like it's okay. Okay, so it's just being mindful about what you're thinking, because it's like we can either hurt ourselves by some of the actions that we take. and or do through doing something that is, you know, not of our highest vibration. That's what they're talking about. And then if we're like, the other side is like the manifesting, like if we're in, okay, manifesting is like we need to be putting a different, you know, a vibration and an energy to, you know, being, you know, that it's like it's coming, it's here. And it's like, it's not like, oh, and it's like trying. We use the word trying. It's like there's an intention to try or to do, but it's like the trouble is with the word try. It's like, it's not like an intention like you're going to do it. You know, you haven't set it like I will do it. It's like I am doing it, like you're in the moment and it has happened. Trying is like you're still like trying to, like, you see, trying to create it, or, you know, you're thinking, you're not, it's like you're going that far and that's it. Like I'm trying to do it, and then you'll go, you know, it's like that. It's like it becomes like something where you see the action that I make, because we're trying to do it, because like you go forward and you come back, and it's so there's that sort of action. So it's like we don't propel ourselves forward enough or far enough and keep rolling, keep that momentum going where we're going like that, instead of going forward and coming back, because that's where that's the way they're showing me how to describe that. So it's like, but it's setting that intention that, like, okay, yes, I am doing that. I'm going to be doing that, and that's what I do. But then it's taking the next step, like, yeah, I am doing that. And then you, yep, absolutely, you're doing it next minute, or you've got that there in front of you. So it kind of, there's a different energy. So they're asking you to explore the words that you choose to use when you're manifesting, or when you're wanting to put out there what it is that you do want, and just exploring that for you, because it's like, and because, you know, and when you're praying or when you're asking for things, is like it's putting it out there in a sense, like it's already been brought to you, or you've already received it, or you've already got, you're there and you've created it, like, and or you've, you know, there's a meeting of the ways and it's happened, or you're in that moment basically. So like you do already have it, and everything is okay. Rather than being like in a space where it's like that feeling of neediness, like you've never ever, it's not going to happen, you know, because when we get into that needy space, it's like it's like it's never going to happen. All the not so good thoughts go through, where it's like we start thinking and feeling it's like it's not going to happen, and rather than going into that space where, okay, yep, it's there, I'm doing it, you know, creating it, I'm making an effort, I'm taking action towards what it is, where I want to go, what do I want to do, and what I want to be, what I want to have, but also what I want to give out to the world. That theme has just come up like time and time again today. So Jesus is there to help us to push past some of those barriers. So you may, and look, because one is about a new beginning, so there must be something where you may be working on at the moment, and he's helping you to bring through that energy of shift with whatever is going on in your mind, because it starts with the mind. If our mind is like a little bit stuffed up at the moment, with lots of information, and, you know, and we're not processing it, or we're not allowing ourselves to process it, or let go of stuff, or shift things like mentally, emotionally, but even physically shifting things out of the way. So like decluttering and that physically is really a good way to help us to shift this emotional and the mental emotional side of things, okay, and the feelings and that sort of thing. So it's like I feel like this, you know, this Jesus here is like is there to help you to shift through that, but also offer you some sort of protection. Some of you might be asking for a lot of like protection, asking to bring in the white light around you to protect you from something as you're walking or moving through things. I mean, you know, it's like, but what I'm hearing is like, you've got to believe it, okay? Because some of you might be saying, oh, I've done this, I've done that, blah, 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 but I haven't. And it's like, and it's also like, yes, you may have done that, and you got through that, but let's just keep going. And even though you may not necessarily be seeing any results at the moment, just keep going, because it's like the signs don't always, like, you don't always see the signs of what the prayers that you've been asking for that come to fruition if you're going to stop and wait. 9 times out of 10, we need to keep moving, okay? And we may need to, like, stop for a little bit, but it's like keeping on moving for a moment, you know, stop, take a breath, review, carry on. Because then as you're moving, your energy is moving, because that's what it is. It's like you put your prayer out, you keep moving. You put that prayer out, you keep moving. You put that intention out, you keep moving towards that intention of what you're wanting to do. Because at the end of the day, you know, nothing's going to happen if we don't take action. We've got to help them out, you know. I mean, Jesus does work miracles, but at the end of the day, it's going to be an even bigger miracle if you help along the way. I just realized that rhymed. So it's like, and that is part of the miracle, and that is part of the healing, is that what he's telling us, you know, at times is to, like, we've got to get up and move. And that may be the message that you hear, is we've got to get up and move. We've got to get up and move out of the way. He may be there to tell us to get up and move out of the way, to move that way. Are you going to move that way, or are you going to resist it? Are you going to at least, you know, attempt to move that way, or explore that way, or are you going to resist it? Because if you're not going to, you know, if you're not going to listen, then it's going to be more of the same of what you're going to get, of what you're doing. So you have 3 options. Wow. Okay, what happened? Where's that going? Oh, okay. So I'm hearing like 3 options. The first option is like you sit and do nothing. The second option is you have a look in there and explore, and you listen to what, you know, to the messages that you're getting, whether it be from Jesus directly, or, you know, or through the angels from Jesus. But because he's here, some of you have obviously been praying, or you get up and you, like, and it may be where you stay where you are, or you go not so much a different way, but you look out that way, or you get guided to go to go this way and then go that way. So there's, like, where did I go for 3? Okay, or you take another direction, or you run the other way, or that. So that's where they're going. But on saying that, the thing is that you've got up and you've shifted yourself out of that. So, and when I say when they're going about running the other way, sometimes, you know, we get up and we move, but we're not too sure about, or move in a direction, and we don't necessarily follow that way, but, or, you know, it's like, what I'm hearing is at least there's movement. Okay, so there's that sense of, like, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. But I like to turn it around, and what Spirit brought me through one time, and, you know, Jesus was like, just get up and move. And start moving in whatever way you wanted. And sometimes I didn't always go that way, but I got up and I moved. I moved forward out of something, and I didn't. Sometimes I went that way. Sometimes I just got up and moved, and, you know, and moved in a direction where it felt safe, but at least I didn't run in fear and go somewhere completely opposite. So I had options later whether I wanted to, like, if I changed my mind, I could go that way or that way. But at least I moved and took myself out of the situation that I was. And sometimes we will do that. We'll get an inkling to go this way, which is where we've been guided to go. Not always go that way, but you may be going, like I say, straight ahead, and like that's still there. But at least not run quite the opposite way and do the opposite thing, which I feel some of, you know, sometimes, you know, like I say, I've done that before in my lifetime as well, and it's something that I do way less, and very rarely nowadays, because I've learnt from that. And the more we follow direction of where and sort it out for ourselves, is the more we begin to trust in ourselves and realize that actually, you know, if I'd have gone that way, it would have been a way better option. But not going to, like, put myself down for that. You know, it's like, okay, I'm just going to, well, where to now? Okay, and how can I bring myself back on the into alignment of where it is, you know, that I've put out for. So it's like, it's not a dead end, put it that way. It's like Spirit, like, you know, the energy of Jesus. It's not a dead end. It's like, we always have choices, and we can make another choice. So what I feel like he's trying to say is, like, and which is what I figured out is, like, later, and what he was talking to me about was, like, you have another choice, Lesley. Just make another choice. And, you know, whether we go left, right, straight ahead or sit, we can still make another choice. It depends on how long we choose to, like, if you choose to stay in the same place where you are, it's like, okay, well, that's your choice, but we can make another choice, okay, down the line. And if we choose to, like, keep going, walk forward, step out of that, but walk somewhere not that way, but it was that way, it's still a choice. You've moved it. There's some momentum there. And it's like, and I'm talking about, because this could be in your job life, in your love life, and, you know, and whatever, in your business or whatever it is. But it's like, at the end of the day, whatever it is to do with, or your spiritual life, it is, we have a choice. We have a choice to make another choice. So take a choice, make a choice. Yeah. It's where they're going with it. So I can feel the energy just building up around it. And so they're just bringing this lots of feeling and love and passion around you at the moment, around me too, because my energy is a lot different, you know, higher, well, not higher, higher, yes, but it's in a different sort of an energy to the other signs that I've been reading today. Where but this is the, like, for some, you know, it's just like there's this, like, a fireball for a lot of you. It's just like getting moving with something, allowing yourself to shift, because it's like, I feel for some of you it's been a little bit stagnant, but just be mindful about that as well. Like the garden and the gate. Okay, so there seems to be three. This is number 30 in the deck. So number 3 is about balance, okay? It's about balance and finding that pivotal point within, you know, and it's about, you know, balancing the mind, the body, the spirit, and the soul, and finding that where it is for you. For, you know, most of it, it's coming back to the heart center, because, you know, when we're in that love energy, that space, and we know that we're, you know, there's just another energy, and you probably will have been there before, and you felt like at ease and at balance, and you just know with that heartfelt energy that everything is going to be all right. So it's like, or everything is okay, not too much just okay, but I know where I am, I know what I'm doing, and it's like, and it feels really super right. It's finding that access point, bringing everything together. And then number zero is like about the God force energy. So there's that cyclic thing where, you know, from 0 to 10 or 9, whichever way you look at it. So you get to 9 and we're at that where something is coming to an end. We're not right at the end, but there's something that's just got a few things to tweak and tweeter out and release and what have you. Then we go into the God force energy, or the zero energy, where we start again. There's another phase that we start, whether it's to do with the same sort of project and we've finished something within that project and moving on, whether that project is ourselves, whether that project is our business or our career or study or something around the house that you've got, you know, goals and ideas and things that you want to do. There's something that's happening there. The energy is flowing, because you're probably feeling my energy flowing now, just through the way that I'm speaking and my hand movements, and that you will feel it anyway. So there's something picking up, there's some sort of momentum. And when I'm looking at this one, the garden and the gate, it's like the garden is there, the gate is closed, but look at on both sides of the gate, it's flourishing. So I feel like it's like you've grown something, you're at a certain place within you where you feel like where you've grown in some sort of way. And back on the background there in the fields, there's something, you know, it's bright. There's something, the soil is being toiled, it's actually growing. There's something growing in the near background there, but in the fields right at the back, we can see the lighter bits. There's this, you know, something's toiled over that way, but you're in your garden and it's flourishing. Okay, so there's some sort of success, and there's some sort of, when I say success for some of yous, or maybe all of yous, in some way or form, okay, where you feel like you've achieved something. And so, because I'm feeling like some of yous are like going into that, and some of yous are in there, and so you've been like, okay, I know where I am now. There's that sort of thing. So they're bringing more. There's something else coming where you're ready for something else, but you're just having a little break at the moment. So we have this new moon energy coming in on the 21st of this month, which is it's on Sunday, coming through. So it's like, so this is a really good time, which I feel like the energy is, you know, for you Taurus, is like there's a building up, like a heightened experience. It's like, you know, like where you're releasing and any sorts of, you know, like, because we're going into the waning moon phase. So it's like a good time to wrap up, you know, old projects and bring closure to conflicts within you and well, with a circle of friends or family, that sort of thing. But just, you know, letting go and releasing in some things that you've been holding on to for like a long time or a short time, that you know that you need to get moving, let go of. And so they're not taken into this new phase, okay? Or you're not holding on to something that's going to the new phase of energy that's coming through there. So it's like, yeah. And then that way we can let in a new wave of inspiration, you know, of that sort of energy to come in, and we can ride that wave of information. Well, information, inspiration as well. And the information that comes from, because we open the door for more information to come through to guide us with the inspirations that we're wanting to, you know, and the ideas that we're wanting to put into place. We're wanting to take action with and move with. But if we're holding on to old stuff, it's not that it's not going to move, but it's for some of you, or some of you, yes, it may not move, or some of us, it may not move, or might be stagnant for a little bit longer, or it's just like that, you know, it's like, okay, you know, it's like there's that stuckness, or it's like sluggish to move because you've still got this stuff that you've been holding on to, that you're not releasing. And it's like, it could be things like, you know, your relation with, you know, what you think about money, you know, these belief systems, limiting belief systems, like how you feel like you may be feeling like, oh, well, you know, and thinking, oh, well, this won't work, this may not work. And then listening to somebody says, oh, but everybody's doing that. So it's like, well, everybody's not you. And it's like, and it's like you've got your niche market or whatever it is. So it's like, or everybody's, that's something, you know, whatever it is with you. It could be a relationship that you're going into or going out of. It could be like you're doing, creating something for yourself in some way that, whether it be for a business or not, or a new job. And somebody may be like saying, you know, oh, what do you want to do that for? But it's like, and that may be enough to like put you off from doing this job as well, because it's money coming in the bank, or it's like coming in so I could do some things, or it's like, well, why not? You know? So it's like not allowing things like that, all these limiting belief patterns that you may have had, that like self-sabotaging yourself from that this won't work, and, you know, and it's like, what other people might think, and it could be, you know, all sorts of things, but it comes back down to us. And it could be your relationship with money and how money works. It's like maybe not wanting to, you know, like, this is a lot of money, don't know, what if I waste my money, you know, but, and, you know, like, and seeing it as an investment into your life, because what if it does work? You know, what if it does work out? And if it doesn't quite pan out, well, then at least you know, at least you can say, I gave it a shot. And then you won't, and at least you'll find out some things. And it may not necessarily, you know, as you're going along, we learn about things, and we might have to tweak this to make it more successful, or to better to move that way, and blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of like we learn. So what I feel like they're trying to say, the energy is trying to say, is like, don't give up. Don't let, you know, let other things or people or whatever, it's like work on that. And that's what they're meaning about, like, some of these things that are coming up for you, that are here, and that are about releasing those sorts of things, those thoughts and ideas that stop you from moving into doing something that you really, really want. And it's, of course, if it's like coming from a love-based, you know, perspective or perception and that sort of thing, and it's like, it's, you know, it's really just making sure that you make this decision without being influenced by something else, or making decisions without being influenced with something else. And that's just where it's really important to get into that, you know, that balancing in that heart space. Okay. And then we have number 23 here, and it's in reverse, and it's got all tied up, so it's in reverse. So 2 is about relationships, and 3 is about balance. So there may be some sort of imbalance within a relationship, or within relationships that you have around you. So could be to do with, you know, a venture that you're moving into, a new relationship that you're moving into. So other maybe external energies are out there, like talking about that influencing your, you know, what you could, where you might be going, your thoughts, you know, trying to influence you. But at the end of the day, this is about you standing in your space, so you make the best decision for you. Okay. And that's where I feel like they're going with that. Okay, cool. Now I'm just going to like pull a card from here. Okay. Well, not pull a card, see what comes out from here. So recuperation and convalescence. So this is the 4 of Swords. So there's something, yeah, and that came in reverse. So some of you may be resisting like resting, because this is a resting. Okay, I'm hearing resting, or taking time out to, you know, just contemplate and sort things out. So in which we need some, you know, at this time when we're coming into, at times, to release things from going. So it's not going and doing things spontaneously or impulsively at the same time. So because that money could be better spent somewhere else, you know what I mean, for different tools and things that are coming up for your venture, your business venture, your whatever it is for you. You might be going into buying a house, or a property of some sort, or buying into a business, or it could be that, you know, it's just like you may be doing something on your house, or just doing something as a hobby. It could be even like planning a trip within New Zealand, or the country that you live in at the moment. So it's kind of like, but take that time to recuperate and convalesce, you know, that rest, basically, if you're needing it. And even if you don't think like you're needing it, because I'm just hearing like you may not think that you need it, but just take it, because it's like the universe is giving you a little bit of time to take that time, because the energy will pick up, and then you're like, shit, you know, now it's going to be running straight into something else. So that's what they mean by that. So it's they're bringing that for a reason. Anyway, so that's for this week. Like I say, you might not fully understand it this week. It might be rolling more into next week, or come into it, or you might be right in it now and know what they're talking about. Okay, cool. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there for you, Taurus, for now. And we're going to leave that with lots of love, peace, harmony, and joy, excitement, and adventure. And you never know, Jesus might come back again next week, or just if he doesn't, you could still talk to him. Okay, or call him in. Okay, then, bye for now. See you next week.